All right, welcome everyone to the session. We're going to show you how to create killer apps in Lightning with Skuid, and hopefully we won't get heckled too much by our copious peanut gallery here. But there will be time for Q&A afterwards, so save those and don't throw things at us, even if we say things that are worth throwing things at us for. Okay, so I'm Zach McElrath, and this is Ben Hubbard. We're software engineers with Skuidify, and we are in the booth for a couple more hours. The conference is almost over, but there's still time to come by our booth and get awesome demos and heckle us. But that's not what we're doing right now. So yeah, this is just it's the end of the day, so I don't need to show this one. This is a repeat of this morning's session, but we have a little bit of time to come see us. We are going to be talking about some stuff today that is not available everywhere yet. Not in our product, not in Salesforce, so that's why I bring the safe harbor statement up, but it's coming. So what is Skuid? For those of you guys who have not seen Skuid yet, you should. But what Skuid lets you do is to create a killer user interface on any device, and the cool special thing is from any device. You can actually build mobile apps and customize them from your phone on an iPad. We once built a mobile app in the car down on a trip to Atlanta with one of our new developers. It's cool, and you can do it on the field, but the real value of Skuid is that you can create a gorgeous user experience in a fraction of the time. You can connect to any data in Salesforce, including now external data objects. This is getting really exciting. Lots of these new features are just kind of letting you take data from outside of Salesforce and data inside Salesforce and present it in a way that makes sense to your users, their business processes, and even customize this CSS. We have a new theming framework that we just rolled out that lets you just click a button and apply a new theme to your whole org. You can create custom themes, but you can also customize the CSS in particular pages. So it's not just functional and tailored to your business processes, the pages that you're making. They can also look beautiful and styled and branded according to your company's brand. But today we're going to focus mostly on demos because I know there's been a lot of people talking about Lightning components, Lightning apps, and we want to show you some things we've been working on over the past month or two in conjunction with the great Lightning team, and some ways that we're using Skuid to help build Lightning components and apps faster, as well as ways to take Lightning components that you guys are building and use those inside of Skuid. So the first thing we'll show is how to build mobile apps lightning fast with Skuid. We'll show you how you can do that with what the Skuid composing experience looks like. Then we'll show you how you can take some of the Skuid apps that you're building and use those as developers to create your own Lightning components and apps. Talk about what an app is, what a component is. We'll also show how you can then use some of these Lightning components to add new functionality to Salesforce One, such as tabs in the app that you can enable through mobile navigation, and ways that you can extend specific points in Salesforce One with Lightning components. So Salesforce is exposing more and more extension points within Salesforce One, as well as, coming in the future, other points of Salesforce in their user interface that can be extended with what is known as UI plugins. May have a new name.
Lightning extensions.
Lightning extensions. That's right. Okay. Things are changing, and they will continue to change. And then finally, we'll show you how to drag, drop, and configure Lightning components within Skuid. This is really exciting. This happened really recently before Dreamforce that we were able to do this. So we'll show that at the end. That's gonna be pretty cool stuff. All right, first step. Let's get into the demos. Slides are not exciting. Demos are exciting. So we'll start out with what's an example of an app that you can build with Skuid that is responsive, that works with touch interactions, that connects to any data in Salesforce, and that is configurable without code, just with clicks. I switched the order around there just because I like code, not clicks. Okay, well, this page right here, this is a mobile app that's running within Skuid. And you notice how when I slide it down to be smaller, it's responsive. Skuid has a built-in responsive grid that you can configure without having to know media breakpoints, CSS, media queries, and all that stuff. You can just say, I want to show a max of a certain number of columns, have a certain number of width for my areas, after which, if I get down to a certain size, I'm going to shrink down to show just one row, and then in my column. So here in a phone form factor, our page will show, in this app, a list of users in our org and their favorite pastry. So we are all about Needlovs. It's a company in Chattanooga that makes pastries, and we are often hungry on Friday, and our bosses are awesome, and they give us food to satisfy our raving hunger. So let's see who's hungry. We're going to apply a filter here just to find the hungry people in our company. I don't know what's wrong with everybody else, but I'm hungry. Ben, I don't know why you're not hungry.
I'm not hungry, I just ate.
Oh, well, you should be hungry. This stuff's good. So right now, my favorite pastry, the one I want to have ordered on Friday. Tomorrow, we usually get pastries on Friday, but it's Thursday, so we have to order them. So right now, my favorite pastry is the bagel. But you know what? I'm in the mood for a cinnamon roll, Ben. So let's go over to our pastries tab, our mobile panel, and oh, that muffin looks good. Oh, I want that. But I'm going to go with the cinnamon roll. It's a standby. Let's tap on this. From my mobile device, all I have to do is define touch interactions such as tap, swipe, pinch, hold, and I can not only do user interface interactions such as show a new panel, show a pop-up overlay panel. I can also do data interactions like create a new record in Salesforce, delete a record, update a record. So what I did right here is I updated a field on my user record that's storing my favorite pastry. So now our person who goes and buys the pastries knows what pastries orders to get this week. So I'm hungry and I'm getting my cinnamon roll. I'm happy. This is good. So what we can see from here, we can go back to look and see our list of people. There's Jay. He likes the cinnamon roll. I like that. And we also,
detail view.
Yeah, I'll go to the detail view. So let's pop down to Zach. All right. Let's see, I can turn off. I can say I'm not hungry. That's going to change a field. Notice I can switch that back and forth with buttons. I'm updating fields in Salesforce, and I can save those with a click of a button. So this is a Skuid mobile app, but what's cool about this is you don't have to write code to build this. So let's go take a look at the composer for this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go into yeah, that's right. So pages. I'm going to show it not in Lightning first, just to show an example. So mobile, we'll go to pastry order. So there's really three main components to the Skuid composer experience. There's page panels, which are where you can, basically the screens that people are seeing. So here's our main screen. We have a grid, which has two divisions in it. It has the filters for our filter, which shows us all people, and then a filter which just shows us hungry people. So it's not really a filter, it's a button that takes actions. So this button can say, go set a condition on a model. We'll talk about models in a second. Say, activate the is hungry condition, and then go requery the data in that model. So what's a model? A model is a window into your Salesforce data. No code, no Apex required. You can say, I want to see records in my product object. But we have lots of products in our object. We'll show that, as you'll see in a second. We have sports equipment, we have sportswear, we have light bulbs, and we have pastries. So we want to see the pastry family products. That's really going to generate a SOCL condition in your behind the scenes. So when you run a query, it's going to say, just get me products with where family equals pastry. But then we can also pick the fields we want. We can go into related objects and get fields across relationships without writing formula fields. There's lots of models that are really awesome, but basically they let you get data, work with it in your pages, so that in my pastry panel here, I can specify a model, my pastries, and then for each record, I can then spit out any content I want. So here I'm just going to show a little image of our pastry, and then I can define touch interactions so that when I tap on my pastry, I'm going to go, I can run JavaScript, I can update records in Salesforce, I can save, I can specify a whole list of actions to run that happen in response to touch interactions. So that's kind of a high-level overview of the Skuid composer. Come talk to us more. We'd love to show you more. But let's see how this is useful for Lightning. So the first thing we're going to show is how to build an app with Lightning. So apps are like high-level containers for Lightning components. So Salesforce One is an app. You can go to one/one.app. So the app's called One. The namespace is One. You can make your own apps. So for instance, I'm going to copy this over here into a new tab. We just created an app in this org called the Skuidify app. Now with the Skuidify app, we can show pastry order. we can show pages. So Skuid likes to show pages. So here, our Skuidify app is now reading in a pastry order, and a page name, and that's what we built with Skuid. We built a page called pastry order, and now we're showing it. You can make your own apps that have any other parameters you pass to them as well, but let's show how we built this. We'll go over into Developer Console, resume, and so here is the first thing we're going to show is a pastry app component. What does a component look like? Oh, actually, so I want to show the Skuidify app, right? Yeah, Skuidify app. Let's go open the Skuidify app. A little too fast. Lightning, we're going to bring up our Lightning components. Here we go. So let's go show the Skuidify app. Okay. Oh. Okay, so our app here is pretty simple. It has a couple attributes, and it then has a nested component within it, which is a really powerful component you guys will be able to use called the Skuid component, where you pass in a page name that you want to show and some additional parameters. You run any Skuid page within Aura and Lightning very, 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 very easily. You just say, I want to go to the Skuidify app, set a page name, and I'll run it and see it. Now, that's a Lightning app, but Lightning apps are composed of components. Now, components can implement various interfaces, and those determine where you can use components within Salesforce. So the one you guys will probably use the most out of the gate is Force App Hostable. Force App Hostable lets you use a component, and you can add it to the sidebar of Salesforce One, and then you can click on that and then go open your component. So we have a couple examples of that in our app. Let's show that. So go back over to Salesforce One. Let's pop open the nav menu over here. Right now we're looking at a component called Batch Inspection. This is a component that is actually going to run Skuid. We'll show you a little example of how this works. So pop this open, and what we're doing here is we're creating a new batch of wine. So at our bread shop, they also do wine. Not really, but it's an example. The color, we're going to set the color of the batch. We can set the pH level. That's crazy amount of alcohol content. This is a very citrusy and winey wine. Yes, peaty and florally and sulfur is gross. What we're actually doing here is we're going to when we click pass, saying this batch passes. It's great. Notice we threw up a little notification icon there. And we actually created a new batch record here in our system. This is a record. If I go here and modify this, I'm actually going to be updating that record. And I didn't turn off that toast icon for that. But this is a multi-pick list field rendered as an interesting little visualization with the different values, different colors and stuff. And these are all number fields that we're writing to. So Skuid makes this really easy to write custom JavaScript renderers around your data fields, as well as do custom visualizations such as charts, maps. Skuid's a really easy way to write custom components, as well as a way to take the standard components we have and combine them together. But this is a Skuid page that has been wrapped in a Lightning wrapper so that you can then use it and customize it. Let's go see what that looks like. Here's our batch inspection component. Notice that it implements Force App Hostable. That lets us add it to the mobile navigation area. So back in our setup menu here, if we go to Setup Mobile Navigation, we can pick from Visualforce tabs that have been enabled for Salesforce One mobile apps, as well as standard tabs. But then, if we make something Force App Hostable, we can see it down here as well. So we already have our batch inspection, but if we added our pastry app, which we were showing before, if we added that in there, then we could see that over here as well. So just refresh. Or in mobile, we could swipe up and down. Get that to happen. So there's our pastry app. So we can wrap that Skuid content, which we can configure with the page builder we showed before, and there it is. There's our same exact app running inside of a Lightning component now, which has been shown in Salesforce One. So very quick. Notice we're not writing much code to be able to get that to happen. Now, just a little bit back about our component here. This component has various attributes. Now, the attributes, defining these attributes are really good because then in the new Lightning App Builder, we'd be able to customize those attributes. And these tell, the reason Lightning App Builder knows about these attributes is because you're defining them here. Every attribute you define will let Lightning App Builder and other third-party tooling things for building and constructing apps will be able to know about your attributes. This is one of the things we love about Lightning, is the metadata. Visualforce did not do this at all. All these attributes that you can define here, you have an API in JavaScript that tells you about these attributes. It tells you about registered events. You guys may not know this is important, but this is huge. This is going to let lots of people can combine Lightning components and develop page composers around them, such as Lightning App Builder, and we'll show like Skuid. So these attributes here, we're going to feed these into a controller. Now this is the most technical part of our demo here, but we want to show you something you're probably not seeing in any of the other demos, and that's an example of another cool piece about Lightning called dynamic component instantiation. There is a method in Aura called component service, and there's a shortcut called new component async. What this lets you do is it lets you dynamically construct particular components. We have a component called Skuid in our namespace SK Aura, and you can pass parameters into it using this attribute section here. This is basically setting all of the attributes you want to use to instantiate our component. So what we're doing is we're getting these attributes as parameters. We're getting these from our component whenever somebody uses it. So in our batch inspection, we have an app here that kind of wraps this component. We can say show alcohol equals true, show pH is true, show color is true, and these values get sent into our component. Sent into the attributes, and then all attributes get exposed as view attributes that we can read from. So we say component.get v.showColor, show pH, etc. And then we can use this here in our components controller, and we're going to actually use this to dynamically instantiate a Skuid component, passing in some parameters. So we wanted to give you kind of a window into some of the things that are possible with Lightning that you may not be seeing, that we're able to take advantage of as Skuid, and you guys will be able to do too, that are really not there in Visualforce. So it's very exciting stuff. We're excited about the metadata stuff about Lightning probably most of all, and the performance that it's going to give you. Okay, so that's a lot of code stuff. We're going to back off from that a little bit. Next thing I want to show is some other extension, one other cool extension point that is available right now to extend inside of Salesforce One. Let's go back. Okay. Let's refresh this. Salesforce One got a little confused. Right now, if you go to a detail view of a record in Salesforce One, you typically get a feed, you get a details panel, and you get a related, which shows you your related items. Now, there's various pieces of the Salesforce One setup interface to let you say configure expanded lookups, I think they're called, and then the related elements that show up here. But a new thing that you can do with Lightning is Lightning extensions, as Ben mentioned. So this is an example of a Lightning extension to the slides. That's variously I've here is called slides and record tabs. So this is an extra slide that we added that's going to show some Skuid content. So when we're working with an opportunity line item, or an opportunity record in Salesforce One, we might want to add line items to it really, really fast. We might want to edit them. For instance, I might want to change the quantity here. I might say, let's actually get 100 lacrosse sticks for this deal. And maybe, let's get some, if we're going to have 100 sticks, we probably have 100 players, so let's add 100 of those. We can do some live updating previews here. That just comes with Skuid, the column summaries. And then we can save that. We can also add additional line items. So what here we're going to do is, from a mobile view, we're going to put up a little pop-up overlay and say, let's add 100 baseball gloves, so you can have lacrosse in one hand and baseball in the other hand. It'll be a really interesting game. And then, so we'll add that product in, and then we could add some jerseys. Let's add Red Sox jerseys, even though they're not the Giants. I did add a Giants product earlier, but I think it got deleted. Okay, so we just added jerseys. We added more gloves. Changed our lacrosse sticks. We did all that without having to navigate between various pages. Your users come into one place, take the actions, don't have to navigate around a bunch, to add related data very quickly. So that's an extension point that is running Skuid. Let's show actually what that looks like. So over here in our Skuid composer, this is the Skuid table that we're showing. So we have our columns here. We can customize, exactly how they look, the labels, how you order things. But to show that this is actually live, we're gonna change this around a little bit. So let's say that we wanted to, rather than just having line items here, maybe you want to show a lot of different related information, such as the related people on this opportunity. Who are the key influencers, or the quotes or contracts we've sent out? Let's go back into our page composer here. We're going to introduce a tab set into this view. We'll add a couple tabs. The first one we'll just call this one line items. Second one we'll call key people. And we can give these little icons to help direct users' attention. So there, we're going to give our key people icon, and this will be we'll give a little money icon here. Money, all right, for line items. And we could add additional stuff in here as well, as like quotes. So what we'll do is first we'll put our table into the line items area, and then we already have a model on this page for key people, the contact roles on our opportunity. And so we're going to just drag in a table, then we'll tie it to that model, and then we'll say add fields. We're going to go pull in a bunch of the fields we've added to our model, get the contact, whether they're primary, what their role is. We'll apply that. And we also want to see some additional fields. We're going to show some related fields on the contact record. We'll get their email and their title. Okay, boom, we got those in there. Let's kind of move those over here, title and email. Let's call this contact. All right. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we don't want to see a lookup of every contact. We want to see just contacts related to our opportunity. So with Skuid, we can show any field that's a lookup or master detail as a pick list. We can also apply a filter here. So we can say, just show contacts whose account ID is another field from another. We're going to go to our opportunity record, get its account ID, merge that in. So we should see probably like 3 to 5 contacts, depending on how many people are at this account. Could be 100, but at least it's not 100,000 contacts to pick from. We're going to try to save our users even more time that way. Okay, so we've made a lot of changes. Let's go see what that looks like. So we pop back into Salesforce One. Let's go back to our line items tab. Okay, now we have a sub-tab. We have a line item sub-tab, same as before. And here's our key people tab. So we can see the email for this guy. We see the title. We can add additional records. Okay, so John Smith's pretty important on this. He is the decision maker. So let's say save. There we go. We've saved that. Now we've added key people and sub-tab navigation using Skuid, but this is a Lightning component that's running Skuid. What does that component look like? It's very simple. We have a little wrapper around Skuid called record tab. So this is when Skuid comes out, when Lightning is GA and we're able to use it in our app, we're going to have a component probably called Skuid record tab, where you can put in a page name and then pass in the ID of the record you're looking at. So notice this is implementing the interface force record tab, a different interface which lets us use it for that override, that extension point. So very simple. That's all the code we had to do. Skuid provides the connection to data and builds the interface. And then to actually just get it to show up as a Lightning component, that's it. One line right there. Okay, so now that's all the stuff where we're extending Salesforce One. But what we're going to show now is pretty exciting. For the very final piece, we're going to go into another org and open up a Skuid app running inside of Lightning. So this is going to be another, maybe it could be a community homepage for our Needlov's Bread Bakery, where we can see a list of our pastries. We can see how many orders there are currently in for those, get my orders, see an About Us section about the company. But this page is missing a header, Ben. I think it needs a header or something like that. Maybe some buttons on the top to let us log out. I don't know, something like that. And maybe it'd be nice if we could record a new batch of wine from this app. That would be a nice component we could drag in.
Definitely.
All right. Well, maybe we should do that. But I wonder if the Skuid composer runs inside of Lightning. Do you think it can do that?
Yep.
But what if I don't have an image? What if I don't have an image component or buttons? I wonder if Lightning has those.
Yeah, I think Lightning has image components and button components built in.
Well, I wonder if Skuid could actually read those components.
I think it could.
Oh. Well, really, let's check that out. Let's see if that's true. I think you're making this up, Ben. Okay, we're going to open up the Skuid Composer. Now, we're running this in Lightning. Notice it's Skuidify, our Skuidify app. And here's a list of components that come with Skuid. But you'll notice there's a difference. At the bottom, we have a list of Lightning components. So these are being dynamically read in from the Lightning list of components. It's a little technical how that's done, but Skuid's reading them in dynamically, so we can see all of the ones that are currently exposed. There's a lot of low-level ones with Aura, such as Aura if statements, iterations, placeholders. Don't really know what those do. But the cool thing is, we can drag these components into our page, into Skuid. And when we then preview our page, we'll be able to run these components using Aura as well. So I don't want to just throw our image right up on top. I kind of want to have a panel layout. So I wonder if Skuid has a component for that. Oh, it does, the panel set component. We're going to give us the 3-column layout. So we'll have 3 panels here. In the center is where we want to put our image. So let's go back down to the list of Lightning components, and let's see if they have an image. Oh, they do. A Lightning image component. So I have a static resource where my image is stored, and that is resource/sk Aura testing need loves logo. There we go. So live preview of what my component's going to look like. I can give it a tooltip. So when the users hover over it, if they don't see an image because it didn't load, or I can give an alternate text here. Welcome to Needlovs. Then I can also specify some additional options, such as when a user click on this, where does it go? I'm going to use an absolute URL here so that it works. Last time I used the relative one. We're going to say, let's open this in a blank window. So these are all writing to attributes that Skuid dynamically knows about on this component, but Skuid's presenting a little cleaner way of configuring these attributes. Now we're going to also let's drag in some other components, see what those look like. And there's not a lot of components exposed yet. We're hoping there's more and more components available, because as soon as there are, Skuid will be able to use them. Okay, so we have a button component here. Let's call this one, set the label to be main menu. We get a live preview there. Let's have it be disabled. No, that's pointless. I don't want to do that. What's the good of a disabled button? All right, let's drag in another button here. This will be for log out. And now you notice this is a little rawer view into the Lightning component attributes. Skuid's just reading straight off the metadata that Lightning's exposing and sort of throwing this up here. But with Skuid, we're going to try to take these raw attributes and make them more presentable for you guys, so you know what they do and have more easy to use properties. Okay, well we've dragged those in, but these are just Lightning components. What about third-party components? What about people's other components that you guys might build, or that Skuid might build, or that you guys might build with Skuid? I wonder if Lightning can show those. Let's find. Well, down here, look at that. We have our testing namespace. This is our org, and here's the list of Aura components we have in this namespace. Yeah. So we have our batch inspection, and we have a nice little empty tab waiting for it. Being very cynical about our own demos. Okay, so we're going to drag this one in here, and we've configured this. 1 minute. Yeah, we're going to configure this so that we can see all the different attributes, and we can do a live preview of what that's going to look like. So turn off show pH, show alcohol. We just want to see the color and taste widgets. Okay, we're doing all this. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's hit preview. There we go. We've got our logo. We click on it, opens up our Pastry app website. And then if we go to our new batch area, this is going to give us a responsive app for being able to create a new batch record, just like we were doing before, using the same component. But again, it's reading from our attributes. We said turn off the 2 middle parts of it and just show the top and the bottom one. So that was all done using Skuid very, very quickly. And with that, we're going to open up for questions.
Yeah, we have
not very much time. You guys, yeah, sorry.
We'll be standing around.
We'll be standing around, but just have any questions, please come to the mic and we'll answer them, or come talk to us afterwards.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, I ran through your questions too much. Thanks for coming.